My name's Jeff Smith, and actually I was trying to improve my swing, and that's how I injured my disc, was lifting weights to strengthen my core to get a better golf swing. After I got an MRI stating that I had a bulging herniated disc, and I saw about three doctors, and one doctor said that I needed injections because that's what he specialized in, and the other two doctors said I needed surgery because I felt that's kind of what they specialized in as well. And
so they were going to do a fusion then?
A fusion, yeah.
Okay.
You know, success rate for surgery, from what I could find, was about 20%. Success rate for injections is about 50%. And then later on, finding your office, your success rate for this program is about 84–87%. And so the numbers tell a story at that point. And in my mind, why not try something before doing surgery or before doing the injections? That just made more sense to me. And if it doesn't work, then there's always that option. But you know, if you go in for surgery, then there's no option. If it doesn't work for you, you're pretty much stuck with what you have at that point. So that was my decision, and the way I came to find you was a referral from my friend's mom. And she said, you have to go see this guy, he's the best, he knows what he's doing. She had 2 ruptured discs, and because I've never experienced an injury like this before. I've almost done every type of injury in the book, but nothing to the effect where it just did not heal. And that was my biggest issue, was it wasn't getting any better, it was actually almost getting worse on a daily basis. And so I knew something needed to be done. By the time I came in here, I was on an average about 7 to, and then with flare-ups, you know, an immediate 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it took nothing to flare it up. You know, it could be just grabbing the milk from the fridge, bending over to pick something up.
But it's surprising how many people have a tailbone or a fifth lumbar or something in their low back that doesn't grow straight or parallel to the ground. It actually grows a little crooked, creating your spine to be crooked, making the disc start bulging. And that's what's happened with you. And you never had a doctor discuss that with you?
Nobody's ever told me that I had a curve in my spine. All they noticed was that, you know, it grew a little bit bigger on one side than it did on the other.
Were we able to show you on the pictures where the malformation was? Were you able to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, obvious,
yeah, it was very obvious.
Yeah.
And so not having that ever be picked up is something that's...
So now this is 3 years later. How are you doing?
Great. Doing all my physical activities that I was doing before I came in to see you. Playing paddle tennis. I could play every day if my work schedule allowed me to. I play golf whenever I want to. I don't have to think about, oh, well, hopefully my back will be okay on that day. I can drive for hours without having to get out of the car. Before, I could only drive for at most 15 minutes without having to get out or trying to move around, tweak around.
And even if you get a flare-up now, because people do get flares to their back, now how long does it take for you to get back to your half point again?
Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days, and I've had one time where it took about 2 weeks.
And I think that's one of the reasons I really like to have you up here talking a few years later. Is the truth is, when people have a chronic back problem they've had for a number of years, and they have some disc problems, and they have some malformations, which a lot of people do that are misdiagnosed and mistreated, they do better. They do 100% better. But we still get flare-ups. Me too. We still get flare-ups periodically. The thing is, we know what to do to put it back together. And now we're out for a few days as opposed to the rest of our life like it used to be.
And I'd say on average, I maybe have had a flare-up once every 8 months on average, or once a year. You're not as scared as you were. You're thinking, well, is this going to last for a couple months, or what's going to happen at this point? It does generally just go away within a few days, or within a couple weeks if it's a bad one. It's been an amazing transformation in the past 3 years, and you know, it takes a little while to get there. I believe it took me about 6 months in your program before I almost became to the point where I am now, and being a pain level about a half a point. I've actually recommended quite a few people for this program, and so it's something that I definitely believe in. And like I said, why not try it first?